Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Minash. On today's show, we're talking about the next generation innovations in internet applications. In fact, every Monday in the month of January, we'll be talking about some aspect of these new technologies. There's a disproportionate amount of venture capital being focused on blockchain technology, not only in Silicon Valley, but Singapore, London, New York, Berlin, China, and India. When we think of blockchain, images of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Etherium come to mind. But we're not talking about digital money today. We're going to look at how the next wave of digital applications are going to differ from the last generation. Today's internet-based applications are centrally hosted. There's a relationship between the host server and the client device, which these days is usually a mobile device or a laptop computer. Most of the processing is happening in that centralized data center. Applications like Zoom, for example, which is widely used, our team uses it every day, they're actually hosted by Amazon Web Services. These so-called Web 2.0 applications have been concentrated in a handful of companies. We're talking about Google, Facebook, Amazon, Twitter. Microsoft even continues to have a strong presence in this space. The biggest difference between a centralized application and the blockchain is that blockchain applications have their processing distributed amongst the clients. The idea behind this so-called Web 3.0 versus the 2.0 is the centralized versus distributed processing. The hope and the promise of these distributed applications is that they don't require a data center in order to scale. It means the adoption of the new applications can be democratized. Now the question is whether the concentration of venture capital in a small number of players will simply result in a new concentration of internet power in the hands of a small group of venture capitalists who ultimately end up owning a disproportionate stake in the next generation of internet applications. I'm going to showcase a couple of innovations that are up and coming, and over the next several shows, we're going to be talking about several more. Nexus Capital is different from many of the startup because it's an insurance company. They use the Ethereum blockchain, and users from anywhere in the world can pool their risks together without the need for an intermediary like a centralized insurance company. Nexus Mutual started out with Smart Wallet Insurance, which protects against hacks or lost funds in the event of an emergency. Nexus plans to roll out more insurance products in the future. Another company is called Propy. Propy is an international real estate marketplace with a decentralized title registry. The company raised $15 million in early venture funding to put its global real estate market on the blockchain. In August of 2017, the startup collaborated with the government of Ukraine in order to allow foreign investors to buy real estate based on blockchain. As a result, in October of 2017, TechCrunch founder Michael Arrington bought an apartment in Kiev via a purely blockchain transaction. Propy also partnered with Leju Holdings Limited, a real estate services provider in China, for the same purpose, to facilitate online blockchain real estate purchases by foreign investors. Currently, Propy allows the clients to search for properties in San Francisco, Dubai, Beijing, New York, Moscow, Los Angeles, Miami, and London in their own native language. Each property has its own page where buyers can find information about the features and location as well as get in touch with the owner. And then the clients can pay for the property in Bitcoin. Now, quite frankly, this seems to me a lot like the heady days of the dot-com era. Anything that converted a business opportunity from an offline business into an internet business was enough to attract investors. Some of these businesses failed because they failed to solve a real problem the customers have. Customers didn't need their pet food delivered online, and that's why those businesses failed. Didn't solve a real problem. Now, there's a ton of companies out there offering some other coin exchange, digital wallets, and various investment platforms. Most of these will fail. In the words of one Silicon Valley angel investor, many of the blockchain startups are stupid, and that's a sentiment I agree with. But in the meantime, there will be a significant growth in these technologies in other spaces, for example, in gaming. You will start to see games like fantasy football and gaming titles like NBA Top Shot using crypto technology to sell curated moments of your favorite sports teams and players. You can create your own collection of limited edition fan moments. Maybe you want to watch that game-winning half-court shot by LeBron James over and over and over again. I've seen some of these moments selling for thousands of dollars in the resale marketplace. Personally, this is not something I would invest in, but then I never got into baseball cards or player cards in any sport. Yet I can still acknowledge that there are legions of sports fans out there who do invest in sports cards. Now, so far, there have been more than 4.3 million transactions on the NBA Top Shot platform, while they're still in their beta phase, and another 35,000 resales on the marketplace platform. I have many investors asking about whether they should be paying attention to various crypto technologies. I think the technology has some advantages, also has some serious drawbacks as well. At the end of the day, any solution comes to solving a problem that a customer actually experiences. Anything less is a solution looking for a problem. We know that those don't sell very well. It's a little bit like saying that a fuel-injected engine in your car is way better than a carbureted engine. And while that may be true, as a driver, you don't really care what's under the hood. You want to know, is it reliable? Does the car accelerate well? Some people will buy the car for the heated seats and the sunroof, not the fuel-injected engine. So we'll see a wide range of solutions being offered on blockchain technology. On next week's show, we'll look at the latest treatment of various crypto technologies by governments and how it might affect those technologies' implementation going forward. As you think about that, have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.